welcome back to a old chapel in El Paso. Just kidding. Or in your local movie theater parking lot. Gotcha again. We are at home. Yep. Another episode where we are not doing the thing that is the name, the branding of our entire podcast.
Yep.
But forgive us, because what we saw today, without giving any spoilers, was like 4.5 hours long, and the only showtime was at like almost 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So
The parking lot was closed. There was no way we were going to be able to keep hanging around there, so we had to do another fake episode. I know everybody's sad. They're all throwing their hands up in the air right now.
Yeah. Our three listeners.
And you're Mara, right?
Yeah. I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
And we are fresh out the film, I guess.
We killed that intro. I don't think we've done an intro better than that.
Sort of. Yeah, and it was also like our third take.
No, we are fresh out the film. Remember, we established this last episode. We were fresh out the film, the brand.
Right.
So we can use both. Currently, we're using the brand. We're fresh out the film.
Right, of course. I forgot that was, the clarification that we have to make.
Yep. Nice back-to-back episode joke.
Same
joke.
Yeah, so we're at home. We have a special guest joining us today. She won't be talking or doing anything. Well, she might, but you probably can't hear her. She's not mic'd up. Her name's Cinnamon. She's pretty chill. She's just kind of like laying in a corner right now.
She's a cat, by the way. We should probably say this is a cat we're talking about.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how long you were going to string it on before you mentioned that. She's just laying in the corner right now. We didn't give her a mic. It's just our friend, Cinnamon.
She's not our friend. She's my child. Yeah. My cat. She's
and my
here.
nephew.
Your niece.
My niece.
Yep.
My niece.
She's a girl. Yeah, in the theater, I did notice, and we'll reveal the movie later. Well, you can see the name of it.
I think you already revealed it, too.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you say something about Kill Bill?
Well.
I don't know.
No, I didn't. But you just did.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we did see Kill Bill. But there were like 6 other people in the theater. I was the only woman in that theater. Crazy.
Oh, really?
Wild. Isn't that interesting, right? That with like a bunch of female leads in that movie, that like our audience, and there weren't that many people to be fair, but was all men.
Yeah, it is. As much of a like female empowerment movie or movies, or I guess I'll just say movie, that the Whole Bloody Affair is.
Sure.
It's still kind of your like stereotypical guy movie, you know? Because it's just like a whole, at least the first one, I would say, 100%. If you're looking at the first half, because it's purely just blood and guts and gore and revenge. And like, that's normally not your stereotypical, it's not a female target audience for that type of story, normally.
That's fair. Yeah, but I must say, I picked up that from, like, right in the beginning, right when we got into the theater. I was looking around to see if there was, like, any other people in the theater. So I was looking through that, like, looking outside of, like, oh, what's a stereotypical, like, guy and girl movie, and, like, looking for, like, what in this movie could women, maybe not love this and not want to see this?
Oh.
And,
Was there a lot of it?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Interesting.
Quite a bit, I would say.
Spoken dialogue by men at points.
I mean, I will just say, for I think any person, like, the feet were out of control.
Oh, yeah. We have a whole segment on that.
But,
we're going to spend 40 minutes talking about the feet
of course.
later, as Quentin would love us to do.
Yes. Classic Tarantino, unfortunately.
That was pretty crazy. Hey, but you have both genders of feet, at least. Not as much. But Bill was shoeless at the end there.
He was.
Shoeless Bill.
Yep.
So.
Shoeless Bill.
I remember looking. There's this shot. Genuinely, I'm going to tell this because we're talking about feet. This is the perfect time to tell this story. There's this shot it's the very end of the second movie. Bill's sitting down on the couch talking to Beatrice after he shot her with the truth serum.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits down. It's like right after he sits down, he starts talking, and he's just like chatting, and right below the table you can see his foot, right?
Uh-huh.
And I glanced down there, and I like had to stifle my laughter a little bit, because you know how like when somebody's talking with their fingers, how they can like set one finger down and then kind of like roll all their fingers by setting them down on the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking? So yeah, starting with one finger and then your second finger and all that, like going like that. So kind of making like a little, I don't know, how would you describe that for audio purposes?
Like a little tapping.
Yeah, it's like tapping, but like all one after the other, and like over and over again. So it starts with your pointer finger, then your middle finger, then your ring finger, then your pinky. You're just going like that over and over.
If we had bigger mics, we could do it on.
Yeah, he's doing that with his toes.
Oh my
over
god!
and over. That's how.
Ew.
That's how into the character he is. He's doing like that little just like symmetrical patterning over and over as he's talking. And I was like laughing just looking at it.
That's so strange. I will mention one thing that I noticed that was like, I think a theme was a bit of an over-sexualization of the female characters, which, you know, kind of lines up with the director of this movie and what he does with a lot of his films. But, and I'm gonna mention it now just because I can't really remember where in the movie it was, but there's this time where, Uma Thurman's character, she has a flashlight, like, on one side of her chest, and she's moving it to the other. She so unnecessarily puts the entire flashlight in her mouth before, and, like, it's a beat before she moves it, and, like, puts it, and it's like, she just had to move it across with her chin. There was a whole nother step, like, we see what you're doing there. Like, we see what the direction was there.
I didn't get that one
very
at
clearly.
all. I mean, that to me looked more like the direction was do anything you can't use your hands and you have to prop up the flashlight. That's what it looked like.
Right, but you gotta look.
She tries to do it with her mouth and it doesn't work, so she presses it down into her arm after that and then props it up there, right?
Right, but how are you gonna how are you gonna see with the flashlight in your mouth? Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
So you think that was Quentin
that angle
saying, "Hey, we want you to put the whole flashlight in your mouth for a second."
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Or some type of.
I don't
you
know,
have to. You have to watch because she has it on this side. She needs the light. I'm sorry, I'm pointing and you guys can't see this, but on the other side of her.
Yeah.
And she puts it in her mouth. Now the flashlight is going directly up.
Yeah.
What is that going to do? We know she's already tried to lean forward and know she can't lean forward.
I never
like,
had
it
that
makes
thought.
no sense for the scene that she would put the flashlight in her mouth. It seems crazy.
No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't make sense for the scene. I
rewatch it. I promise. If you rewatch it, you will be like 100%.
This was intentional.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even have that thought about it being a sexual connotation, so somebody needs to get their mind out of the gutter on this podcast. No.
Well, I think I was already.
It, if we know Quentin, you're probably correct.
Yeah, no, and I was already. I mean, knowing who we're watching and that, especially that's one of his earlier movies. I was very like hyper aware of watching for the over sexualization because I knew it was something that we would probably talk about.
And definitely just a lot of the shots too. You know, the cinematography. It's just so many like low angled shots or shots just starting at the woman's butt or something like that.
Right.
Or like
it reminds me of like the old like Charlie's Angels movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Have you seen those?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I have not. But I can.
But you can.
I've seen
you can
clips
imagine
from
that.
them,
Yeah.
and the only clips I've seen are doing exactly what we're talking about. So I totally understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what else do we have up top? Did you talk through the theater experience already? Good, decent.
Yeah, we were good. I actually have to say, I feel bad, kind of, because when we were walking into the theater, you sat down in my seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not my seat, in one of the seats we had, and then moved over to the other one. I sat down, I was like, oh, I actually have the best seat in this theater.
Really?
Like, it was the
Dead
perfect center. Like, I literally, like, as soon as the movie started, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking in it. Like, this is amazing.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, did you want to tell the audience where our seat number was?
No.
We had seats
Don't
number
start with this. I swear to God. I
6
swear to God. If you do, I will
and
walk out of this podcast.
7.
I'm done.
That's
I'm
it.
walking out.
Seat number 6 and 7.
Gross.
Just so you know, nothing funny about that. I don't know if there's
my
any,
gosh.
do those numbers mean anything to anybody?
Shut the fuck up. I have this dumbass making those jokes as I'm telling him the seat numbers. Stupid.
Sorry, dude. Can't escape me.
The worst.
You can't escape me. I mean, literally, I paid good money for you to be on this pod, so you're not leaving anytime soon.
Right. Good money. All right. Should we jump in?
Is it that time? Story time?
Nope.
Oh, fuck.
The movie we saw today that we already sort of announced was Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair.
The Whole Bloody Affair.
Directed and written.
I'm trying to do it with an English accent, right? Because it sounds like you're saying it.
What have we said
affair.
about interrupting my breakdown?
Oh, right. Sorry. We'll just ignore.
I tried to, but then you kept going.
That's my fault.
Okay, directed by Quentin Tarantino.
It's Quentin.
Directed and written by Quentin Tarantino. My bad. Cinematography by Richard Robinson. Starring Uma Thurman, Lucy Liu, Michael Madsen, and David Carradine. The budget was...
Let me guess.
I told you what it was.
Yeah, I know what it is.
The budget for both of the movies that were combined into one, which is what I have the information was, where they both were 30 million. So
Yep.
We'll go with 60 million total as the budget. And it made $3 million in the box office.
I wanted to guess that one. Only $3 million opening weekend?
I also told you that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I wanted to guess it, man.
Yes, but this is from The Whole Bloody Affair. Made $3 million.
Yeah, when it came back.
In the box
That's
office.
probably pretty decent for re-release, I would think. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that budget is going to be completely accurate, by the way, because it was, when they were filming it, it was all initially going to be one movie. So it was $60 million up front. That's what they're going to get for the whole movie. And then it had to be split later.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's, yeah, you're completely accurate.
But I know, wasn't there some stuff they added?
It was all, everything that was filmed, it was all done in one shoot.
So it's still, okay.
So technically it was all within that 60 million, unless maybe reshoots weren't counting that budget or something. If there were any more, I don't know if they reanimated anything for the Orenishi backstory. I don't know.
Okay, well.
Don't come to us for film facts.
Yeah.
We don't know those.
We're just a film podcast.
Yeah.
It has a 4, and okay, to be clear, this is all of these ratings are for Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, not Kill Bill Volume 1 or Kill Bill Volume 2.
Okay.
Just so it's clear. So, it is 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, an 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb, and 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, doggy.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to note that both Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Kill Bill only have, I think it's 83 to 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So everybody likes it better together?
Yes.
What does that say? Maybe that old Harvey Weinstein should have let Quentin Tarantino have it his way, man.
Yeah.
It's truth. I mean, so that's, is it my time now?
Yep, it's your time.
It's mine. Well, I mean, that's the perfect place to kind of talk about what happened with this before I actually jump into the story, because it was just Kill Bill, a 4-hour blood-soaked epic. Harvey Weinstein, though, freaked out when he saw the runtime and forced Tarantino, against Tarantino's wishes, to split it into volumes 1 and 2, leaving entire battles and flashbacks unseen. This is now The Whole Bloody Affair. This is the cut we were meant to see, the one that Tarantino wanted us to see. So, who knew that Harvey Weinstein could be an even worse person? But we have an even more to hate that guy for. Look at that.
I will say, like, obviously, fuck Harvey Weinstein.
Uh-oh. What?
But if we separate it...
Is there a butt?
If we separate it from Harvey Weinstein, like, do you think in whenever this movie, 2003 or whatever it was, when this came out, like, it would have gotten as big of, like, reception, put him on the map as much as it did if, it was, like, 4 hours long?
It would have changed the whole kind of, like, viewpoint of this movie. Because I think it would be a lot more of Oscar bait than it probably was if it was all together, you know? So that would maybe change things in the way people are looking at it. But I do think, like, unequivocally, there's no way it wouldn't make as much money because two separate releases. Like, that's going to make you more money than putting it at once. So it's
also, like, a lot of people aren't going to go and see a 4-hour-long movie.
At that point, it's Tarantino coming off Pulp Fiction. So I think
that's fair.
Is it coming? Is that true? Is that directly coming off Pulp Fiction? Like, am I right about that? Am I missing something in the middle there?
Let me check.
Because if it's coming off Pulp Fiction, I think that's kind of the one weird stars align moment where you could release that 4-hour epic and people actually would go see it.
I guess you're right.
Just because it's Tarantino coming off Pulp Fiction. Like,
that's fair.
If that's the case, like, that makes sense to me. But it's just, as a director, I feel like it would really hurt me having to see my movie getting split in half, you know? Because it's not, for that first year, however it takes to release the second one, people haven't experienced what you want them to experience. Nor will they ever, because it is going to be a different experience, as we see from the ratings varying.
Right.
You know?
But it's just, like, I don't know if that time, like, obviously, like, already, Quentin Tarantino is this big director, whatever he releases, people are gonna go see, right?
Yep.
But, like, the people who didn't see Pulp Fiction or didn't like Pulp Fiction or whatever, that demographic of people, you know?
True.
Like, they're not gonna go and see that movie. Like, would it have been as big in such, like almost like a cultural phenomenon that it is if it was one whole movie? Like, would, like, the everyday person be talking about Kill Bill, like, at that time and it be as popular, or would it have been one of those movies that kind of like failed in the box office and then years later people are like, no, this is incredible?
I really don't know. I think it might have been able to hold on and still, like, have a wide enough target audience because Tarantino proved he could do the double release with Grindhouse. You know, was that before or after this? It would have been after Death Proof and
I think it was after.
After. He can. We've seen that he can do the double release and people will go watch it.
Right.
I don't know. I think it would have been a different thing culturally. I don't know if it would have been bigger or smaller, but I know it would have been different because it would have been just the conversations would have been different around it.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I think it would still, at this time, it would still be the same thing that it was, like, now at this time, but in the past, would it have gotten as big of, like, reception as it did if it was, like, the 4.5 hour long movie?
Right, that's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have watched it. I wouldn't have been around to go and watch it back then.
Right, you would have not been yet born.
More movie, the
I.
better for me. It's a worse deal for movie theaters, though, too.
Right.
Right, like, you know, same ticket, 4 hours. There's so many aspects to it.
Well, I guess, like,
they would cut
possibly intermissions, then people are going and buying more popcorn and more stuff. Like, that
might even it out. Yeah.
Good
But
if it's a
I'm
big
pretty
enough
sure
release, though, is the...
In general, the shorter movies make the movie theaters more money.
Yeah. We can ask our movie theater expert.
We can. But yeah, that's about all I have for the little preamble here. So, you ready to get into the story?
Jeez.
What?
Yes.
What?
We've talked so much, we haven't gotten into the story.
We got a lot of story to get through, so I'm gonna start moving. So we have a little pre-credit stuff where we learn that the film is about the Deadly Viper Assassin Squad, which has 5 members. The quotation gives the flavor, "Revenge is a dish best served cold." In monochrome, a gasping, blood-covered bride looks up from the chapel floor. It's the first shot we see, and this is the bride currently. We don't know her name, and she is fucked up, man.
Yeah.
A hand wipes her face with a handkerchief bearing the name Bill. While a male voice explains that what he's about to do is not a sadistic act, but a masochistic one. Do you know what that word means?
No.
I don't either. Do you want to look it up real fast? Because when he said it, I was curious. Not sadistic, it's masochistic.
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 I've
Masochistic.
yeah. I've heard it before.
Just before he shoots her in the head, the bride tells Bill and that the baby she carries is his. A gunshot is heard, and the opening credits begin, backed by the song Bang Bang. It's so clean. Gunshot goes, everything goes black. Nancy Sinatra in my ears.
A masochist is a person who derives sexual gratification from their own pain or humiliation.
Whoa. So it's even worse. That's crazy.
And one of the searches is masochist versus sadist.
That's wow. Okay.
So did you want to know the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference?
So a sadist enjoys inflicting pain, punishment, or humiliations on others for pleasure, while a masochist enjoys receiving pain, humiliation, or suffering themselves.
Wow. Interesting. So he's receiving the pain by killing her in that scenario, he's saying.
Right.
Rather than her receiving pain. Wow.
Oh, fuck. I feel like such an idiot. That's crazy.
Well, that line being the very first line of this movie makes you think Tarantino dialogue in this movie is about to be out the wazoo. Like, it's about to be amazing.
No, for sure.
And then I'm not sure if it is. But a couple little gems here. We have our gems scattered throughout. Gio's Hidden Gems. The most expensive movie factoids. I'll only do that once, don't worry. According to Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman, the idea for Kill Bill began during Pulp Fiction, and Uma herself came up with the image of the beaten bride in the opening shot. At the very end of this movie, I kind of like shook your arm or whatever because we saw it says story by Q and U, and that's story by Quentin and Uma.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Quentin Tarantino only ever had Uma Thurman in mind for the bride. Makes sense because they wrote it together.
Right.
And then there's also the people who passed on playing Bill. Everybody who passed on playing Bill. Jack Nicholson, Kurt Russell, Mickey Rourke, Burt Reynolds.
Damn.
All of them, I think, would be a pretty good Bill. I would want to see Jack Nicholson's Bill and all that, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine Jack Nicholson in that role?
Ooh.
Oh my god, that would be sick. They originally casted Warren Beatty, though. He was originally casted to be Bill, but he left for creative reasons. Had he stayed, Bill would have been more of a suave James Bond type of character.
Oh, interesting.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't quite picture Warren Beatty doing this, the Carradine thing.
No.
Then we see Chiron, Chapter 1, Pasadena. A blonde woman, the bride, drives up in a yellow and red pickup outside a suburban home and strolls to the front door. The bride's yellow outfit here is directly inspired by Bruce Lee's suit in Game of Death, by the way.
Huh.
As she rings, a flashback shows the bride crashing to the floor and looking up to see the face of one of her attackers, Vernita Green. A savage fight follows, paused only when a school bus pulls up and a little girl walks in. This was cool because these two girls are going at it. These two Deadly Viper assassin ex-members or whatever fighting through the bride trying to get her revenge on this lady.
Mm-hmm.
But when the girl comes home, they both just put the knives behind their back and are like super cordial and just go to your room, sweetie, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny a little bit and also not.
Yeah.
It's like it gave me one of those awkward like comedy feelings where it's like, oh, this is funny because it's shocking.
Yeah, and it kind of starts like this theme of a lot of the women characters just being like very maternal. And wanting to like not have just kind of like protect the children in the scenario, which we kind of see a little bit throughout, and we'll see in the end of it.
Yeah, definitely these two characters have that in common, being protective over their cub or whatever, but at least by the end of this. But this lady and the type of mother she is. And, when all is said and done, maybe the bride is taking a few of those qualities to her, to her home. But yeah, I really like that moment of them stopping and just like, just go to your room, honey. Everything's okay. And the living room was just trashed.
Yeah.
The bride.
Yeah, she says something like, what happened to the table? Because like there's like all this glass, and she's like, your dog did it.
The dog. Terrible.
Yeah.
The bride mentions she once had a child who would be the same age as Nikki. Vernita sends the girl to her room, and Vernita is a code name for Copperhead. The bride is Black Mamba, we learn. The bride promises not to kill Vernita in front of her child. Later, they have this great kind of just conversation where they just kind of put everything down, talk through their lives, how things went down, and Vernita kind of prepares coffee for the bride and her. And as she's preparing coffee, Vernita's like, I need to fix my daughter's cereal now, so you can leave. She starts fixing the cereal. The bride. I'm going to have to bleep that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and bleep that. All right. Fuck! I just said the name, okay, because nobody knows what I'm talking about. I just said the name, so I had to bleep her name out. The bride. The bride hasn't yet left. So she gets the cereal box down, Vernita, and then in the cereal box is a gun that's waiting there. And it's just a cool scene. She shoots the bride, fortunately misses, and the bride just takes a knife, sticks it right in Vernita's chest. Unfortunately, this is right when the daughter walks out, and this child witnesses her mother's death. The bride apologizes, but explains it was justified, and tells Nikki, if you ever can't get past the killing, if you ever can't get past it, come find me, I'll be waiting. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Which is, and there's this shot, right when they say that, where it's the little girl, not even it's below her perspective, it's the shot on the floor of her shoes, kind of looking upward. And what do you think about that shot? Because I was like drooling over that shot. I just thought it was something about shooting the shoe like that. It was like you could see this whole other journey just being started right there. The person that this girl's about to be,
Completely.
How much she has to grow up, how little she is now. Like, this is the tipping point of her life.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And I will say this is like the first kind of thing we hear that starts this theme with like all of our sort of like main characters and people, like they're all pretty like revenge driven, but like they're kind of secure in like their fate, like that I've done bad things, that someday like someone's gonna come and try to kill me and I'm gonna have to deal with it, but I'm gonna make these people pay as well. Like, every time there's someone that's, like, killing someone else, like, they're very secure in, like, I'm gonna do this, and then someday, because I do this, someone else is gonna come and try to kill me, like, which is, like, very interesting, and they're all, like, very self-aware.
Well, it's a crazy loop.
Yeah.
Because it's never ending.
Right.
Father, enemy kills father, son kills enemy, enemy's son kills the initial son.
Yep.
Right? And then it just keeps going.
Yep.
Like, it's so, it is cool seeing that cycle, because that is what that moment is pointing towards, the cycle continuing.
Yeah, and it's just, like, so blatantly talked about throughout, like, with all of the characters pretty much talk about it.
It's true.
Yeah.
She returns to the pickup after all this, crosses Vernita's name away from her death list, and drives away in what we see is the Pussy Wagon. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. The pickup, the Pussy Wagon, was originally owned by Tarantino, who occasionally drove it to promote Volume 2.
Of course it was.
Of course Tarantino owns the Pussy Wagon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're not a big Quentin gal?
It's so annoying, and we were just talking about this before the podcast, but, like, I do really love a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies, but he's just such an awful human being. Like, it's hard to... I don't want to support him in any way, and it's, like, this interesting line of we are absolutely for supporting movie theaters, but it's like, I don't want to support Quentin Tarantino. Like, he's an asshole. Like, he's so terrible. Like, an asshole is an understatement, I think.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, I mean, Tarantino has had a lot of comments that have not been the most uncancelable. And he's also defended people that don't deserve it. Like, he's defended Roman Polanski on multiple occasions for stuff. And just, it still does.
Yep.
And, like, all this stuff. And so that's what we're kind of alluding to with the Tarantino history, where there's just a lot of clips out there where he doesn't look like the best gentleman.
So just to be clear, we don't like or support Quentin Tarantino as a person whatsoever. We think he's crazy. Right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts me to say, because, like, Tarantino, I think of greatness on film.
Right.
Quentin Tarantino, the human, though, yeah, I don't like that dude.
Yeah.
Don't like that
Kind of
dude.
awful.
He's entertaining to listen to talk, though, I will say. He talks in a way that's like he's, it's like he starts to speak and there's a timer on him and he has to get all of his words out within that, it's like maybe within that breath. And so he says it all in like the one thing and then he goes back and then he says it all again in the like, it's like just this like really kind of stressed out talking.
I feel that because I feel like he talks kind of similarly to Ben Shapiro, but if Ben Shapiro was like running out of breath, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like that same like really fast like. Yeah.
That's a good one. We move then to chapter 2, the blood-splattered bride. We go to 4 years earlier, the fractured storytelling, which is Tarantino. I mean, I'm blanking on the word Tarantino-esque. Quintessential Quentin? I don't know, whatever. Fractured storytelling.
Yeah.
We're at the El Paso wedding chapel and we see some police investigating a massacre, leaving 9 bodies. This includes the bride that we saw, but also her groom, the preacher, his wife, the guest, and the piano player. Aw, rest in peace, Rufus. He's a dog.
Rip.
Like Rufus. The sheriff strolls around commenting on the scene, stops near the bride, remarking on how good-looking she was. He recognizes her alias, Arlene Machiavelli. She spits in his face and is rushed to the hospital, lying in a deep coma. This is where we see L. Driver, played by Daryl Hannah, codenamed California Mountain Steak, enters whistling the tune, man. The freaking tune that we all know and love. The whole, hopefully it'll pick up. And that whole thing, and it keeps going. Sorry, Mara had to comfort her cat while I'm whistling. Whoops. But yeah, she's singing that whole tune. She dresses as a nurse, carrying a syringe, and prepares to let the bride die in her sleep. I thought this was really funny because she's dressed up as a nurse, and the eye patch that she has a little, like, red cross on it. And it's like, dude, come on. That's not... It's so over the top, because, like, if you're dressing up as a nurse and you have an eye patch, if they notice the eye patch, you're already screwed. They're going to be like, wait, I don't work for somebody with an eye patch. It's like, maybe by putting the little white and red on there, they won't think anything of it. They'll just think I'm a nurse with an eye patch. Fine.
Yeah. Oh, and I must say, another thing I noticed, and this was my brain just, like, looking for things the entire time, of course, but as she's getting dressed as the nurse, there was an emphasis on her putting on, what are they? They're not tights, like stockings?
Stockings, yeah.
Yeah, putting on, like, these, like, lace stockings. You barely see the bottom half of her the entire time. Like, it was a really unnecessarily, like, shot of, like, just really far up her leg for no reason.
Yep, makes sense.
And it's like, there it is. And, of course, that's just me. That is gonna be looking for, like, those random moments where it's like, why do we have to do that? That are in all of those
Well, you got to think, too, a
movies.
filmmaker growing up during the time that he did, like, he might not even have other shots in his mind.
Completely.
Literally, to the point where it's like, no, this is just what you do in this scenario. And
Yes.
he's not thinking about how it's sexualizing the person, but that's literally what it's doing and what it was put there to do in the first place.
Yes.
It's just like the history of cinema that is carried on.
It was so common in old to
Yeah.
do that type of stuff. So, but I will be calling the things that I
That's
can't
going on. See, I didn't
remember.
notice that one either. It's they do all this sexualization, I thought, for men, and I don't even fucking notice it. What the hell? What is this?
But I must say, because of the audience that was in the crowd, I was already, like, very toned in, looking
Yep.
for every little thing, of course.
She dresses as a nurse. Yeah, she carries a syringe, but she wants to let the bride die in her sleep. Her phone rings, and it's Bill ordering her to abort the mission, which was... What is this? What is this? Just story-wise, like, literally as she's putting the needle in, like, the bride's veins, essentially, is right when Bill calls, and it's like, you know what, don't do it anymore. And his reasoning is, she doesn't deserve a death that easy, which, Cottonmouth, is that her name? Daryl Hannah's character, Cottonmouth. She also commented on that, which was like...
Wait, no, that's not his reason. That's what she says.
That was her reason, but he says the same thing.
No.
Yeah, she can't die like that.
Yeah, but, like, isn't it the thing because she survived, like, a bullet to the head, so she deserves to live, or whatever?
From my memory, it was...
Because I remember that's what she says, but I don't think that's what he said.
I remember Bill doubling down on that fact because it was like, yeah, we want to let her escape, so then we can find her again and make it worse, is the idea.
Oh.
That's what I remember. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I just thought it was insane that, like, how is this not already planned out, guys? There's no way Bill's just now, wait a minute, maybe she shouldn't die so peacefully. No, you would have already thought that out. Sure. And when you send somebody to go do something, you're not going to make that phone call. You're going to look at the time and be like, oh, God, well, I mean, she would have done it within this 10-minute block. I mean, I'm screwed. You wouldn't be making that phone call him up saying, it's off.
That's fair.
It just felt so weird to me. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she aborts the mission. She's very sad about it because she didn't want to kill this lady. 4 years later, the bride wakes up from a coma after a mosquito bite with a super close-up that looks really gross.
Yes.
The flashbacks show a bullet approaching in slow motion, and she immediately notices the absence of her baby when she grabs her stomach. This breaks her completely, and she's just, like, crying, and just this super sad moment. Kind of one of the few moments of real emotion we'll see from Beatrix for a long time.
You did it again.
Dude, I'm gonna do it so often. We need to get to her name. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
It's not for a while.
Yeah, I know. This is tough. So, basically, she hears some people coming. She doesn't know what to do, so she just goes completely still. And there is Buck, who's a trucker, and this makes me feel really gross. Do you want to talk about this stuff? I can talk about it. I had like a visceral reaction to this whole thing the first time I saw it.
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot about it. I think I blocked it out. Yeah, disgusting. Basically, since the bride has been in a coma, one of the nurses is sort of renting the bride out to men.
Pimping her out, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice word. Thank you.
Yeah.
Renting, yeah. I mean, that's literally, yeah. That is what's
I'm trying to use nicely. Pimping.
My bad. It's just the worst possible, like,
absolutely disgusting.
just like the gross, and like she's awake as all this dialogue's going on while Buck is, because Buck brought another guy in, he's explaining, all right, so here are the rules and all this, and so she's realizing what has been happening to her this whole time, and that's gotta just be like so heartbreaking. I just can't even imagine the feeling that goes through you.
Yeah, because not only has she just like lost her child, now she finds out that like her body has been being used while she's been completely unconscious. Like
she's like a multi-time rape victim now. Who knows how many?
Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah. I was like almost turned the movie off like first time watching that one.
Yeah, I could have gone without that scene.
But it gives me the visceral reaction that he's going for.
Yeah.
I get why.
That's always his thing, is he wants to do the most, extreme, gross, and, there's some controversy of whether that, crosses the line, and I guess it's up to the viewer to make that decision, really.
It's my favorite part about movies is getting to emotionally attached to them. So I like when anything fucks up my emotions in pretty much any way. Happy, sad, any way that goes. I have a lot of respect for the movies that do that. The ones that are able to get me really visceral reactions, no matter what it is, I have a whole lot of. So I like this type of concept, this type of scene, I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah, I think for this scene in specific, I understand why it was necessary, and it wasn't like I'm very glad he was able to do it in a way that we did not have to get a graphic rape scene.
Yep,
which
exactly.
I do
And
really
you still get the feeling of dread that I have.
Yes. Yeah. So I think like when it crosses the line for me is when we get a like unnecessary like really graphic sexual assault scene like that. But when you can just do that with dialogue and make that imply, I think I do respect that a bit more, but it still could be in some murky waters, of course, in a lot of things he does, but you know.
It's maybe one of those scenes when you'd like to have a female in the writing room.
Yeah.
I don't think Quentin does.
I doubt he does.
He writes all of his own stuff, I think, just on his own, as far as I know. But I'm sure he's got a couple people helping out, but...
Yeah. But I do appreciate, like, getting that visceral reaction. We didn't see anything happen. It's just the implied words with the lighting around them. It's so, like, dark and, like, just, like, this eerie feeling in the hospital room. So I think it was a well-done scene, as disgusting as it makes you feel.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Well, the trucker that was the tenant. You said renter, so I'm trying to be nice.
Sure.
The tenant, at that point, he goes to have his time with this unconscious woman, and she wakes up. Or, well, she was already up, bites his lip off. This great shot of his lip, like, stretching out.
Ugh, it's so gross.
Slashes his heel, all this stuff. And she, like, butt comes back. She's on the ground, like, right behind the door, slashing his Achilles, and then banging his head in the door to, like, try to get, where's Bill? Bang! Where's Bill? And it's like, homie, this is a nurse. He probably doesn't even know who Bill is.
Yeah.
But she's that, like, just crazy right now.
Yeah.
A lot of emotion coming
It's
in.
insane.
So she kills Buck and gets the little key to the car, and it's the keys to the pussy wagon. So she goes out, and now she has to get control of her legs, which is so long for no reason. And this is the Tarantino, what's it called? You like feet. It's your
his foot fetish?
Fetish. Yeah, the Tarantino fetish scene. This is what it is.
The first of many.
Well, I mean, this is the one that's, like, for me, was, like, the most in my face, where I was just like, can we just move on?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, no.
Because it
was definitely the longest. Like, there were prolonged shots on the feet that it was like, that was strange, but this was just a straight up shot of the toes.
It's just, basically, she's trying to get herself to move her toe first, then she can move her legs, and then she can try. And it is something that would need to happen, but they spent so long with her trying to just wiggle your big toe. Wiggle your big toe. They spend so long.
And it's just zooming in on
her
feet.
They spend so long that they literally have to cut to a flashback. Like, that's how.
Yeah, and then it comes back to the feet. It's crazy.
But yeah, this is one of the barefoot shots. This is where most people remember him.
Like, I understand the concept. Like, oh, you just have to, like, wiggle your, like, that's the first thing. You wiggle your toe, then you can move your feet, and then you can move it, like. But, oh my gosh, it was so long and unnecessary.
It was so crazy. This was also, earlier we did talk about Elle Driver whistling the song. I did want to say that this theme was later popularized. There's a lot of people in our generation who know it as the tune to Chill Bill, the song. You know that song?
No?
It's the song that uses this,
Maybe I do.
Oh, two damn phones, Babylon can't cut that something. Used to step out styrofoam, but figured I would stick to something. Backwoods overload. You don't know it, do you?
Maybe.
It's a good song. We'll listen to it after, probably. Probably not. So. Wait. This is not the time. Okay, that's just not true. Okay, sorry. Now we're in chapter 3. Yes, here's the flashback. So we go to a flashback and we get the freaking anime sequence, and this time it's the extended anime sequence, which is amazing. So an extra like 15 minutes or something of this anime. I don't know what you think about anime. Do you like it?
Yeah.
I love it, especially in this. Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's something so different than what we've witnessed the whole time, yet still works in the context of the story because it's a kung fu movie.
Absolutely.
And it's just such a dark story too. Like, there's this, because the anime sequence, it's Oren's childhood, and at 9, her parents are murdered by the Yakuza clan, and she's under the bed as this is happening. Her mom gets stabbed under the bed, on top of the bed while she's under it.
Mm-hmm.
The sword comes down right by her eye. And then we get this shot, POV shot from her perspective. She's looking up, the bed above her it gets red with all the blood and starts dripping down onto her face. And it's just this like darkest, most harrowing thought to be in that moment, just like so beautifully displayed with what they chose to animate there.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so, the music, everything about it. That moment I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And it also has her avenging her parents at 11 and becoming a world-class assassin. And yeah, it's just this whole story. I don't know, is there anything crazy you want to talk about with I talked a lot about this in my video.
Yeah, no, that was just the one thing I was thinking about was the thing you already talked about, so was the one big shot that I was remembering, but
and the other thing that this does is adding more Oren's childhood makes you understand this character a little bit more.
For sure.
This girl that this woman that we see is really just this. In my video, I said beautiful mob boss because I think she is just so attractive. I don't know about you, but Lucy Liu is like my new celebrity crush or something.
She's gorgeous.
She's so beautiful. But now she's actually got so much history to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know who this person is and why she's doing what she's doing. And why she operates as brutally as she does.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it's an extra fight in there. This was also, I have in here, there was this whole thing. There's an article written, I don't have who it was written by, but it was about how the character of Oreni Shi is the dragon lady stereotype of Asian women. And Lucy Liu wrote an op-ed rejecting that idea. Came out against that. She fights for this character. And I agree on that front. I think this is a well-written character, mainly because of this backstory. Without it,
yeah,
I don't think it's nearly. I don't think it's a well-written character at all. Honestly,
absolutely.
It's just another. There's a plenty of them in this where it works. It's just another one to cross off the list. But she has some real merit to her now.
Absolutely, I think her whole backstory just gives her character so much more depth that even just like in the little dialogue she has later, it gives her character so much more and makes her such a like crazy strong, just like amazing character.
100%. Chapter 3. No, that was already chapter 3. And then we cut back and 13 hours passed. It's 13 hours and the bride can now use her legs. So she uses her legs to go buy a plane ticket and fly to Okinawa.
Yep.
That's that. Now it's chapter 4. The man from Okinawa. Who is that? You know the man from Okinawa? The bride seeks Hattori Hanzo, the man from Okinawa, in a sushi bar, requesting a sword to kill her targets. Hanzo initially refuses, but agrees when he learns her target is Bill. This is honestly, like, I wasn't too impressed with the dialogue in this scene, but it was interesting seeing, almost did it again, the bride be this, like, fake person, because, like, we kind of saw her, like, turn into a super spy for a second. Because she, like, is all of a sudden just this, like, really peppy, like, American tourist girl. As she's talking to Hattori Hanzo before she reveals that she's part of the Viper Assassin squad or whatever. So it's really interesting. And I wish we would have got to see more of that, honestly. We didn't get to see her, like, putting on a front enough.
Yeah.
Or we just didn't get to see her actually being incredibly emotional, like the real version of her enough. For that front to feel super, like, natural. It feels kind of weird just happening once and then never seeing it again.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah, I don't think we see.
We don't.
Yeah.
But that was probably a big part of what she was doing. Is that, like, what was that doing to her mentally? I'm kind of curious about. And, like, you know, if we don't get to see her break down after that point for this entire first half of the whole bloody affair, it's kind of weird. You know, it's just she does not have a lot of emotional resonance with me in the first movie. Like, there's just not a lot there. Second movie, a ton. especially when you put them together.
Sure.
Holy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so Hattori Hanzo comes out of retirement to make her a sword to kill Bill, and he presents the sword in a ceremony. There's also the scene in there where the bride splits the baseball with her sword. You saw that scene?
Mm-hmm.
I have a baseball and he throws it at him. This was done for real by stunt double Zoe Bell. She actually split the baseball.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was thrown hard too. It's not an easy split.
Yeah.
Freaking impressive.
That's wild.
Now we have the final chapter of part 1, the showdown at the House of Blue Leaves. That does not roll off the tongue as well as I thought it might. We see Areno. She is the head of the Yakuza Council. Her's like sitting at a big business table. There's this dude who objects to her, and he gets his head cut off. So she's cutthroat, you can tell. The bride arrives at this House of Blue Leaves in yellow leathers on a yellow motorcycle, and she looks pretty badass. She spots Sophie, who's another person on her revenge list that she has to kill. Sensing danger, Aren throws a knife through a paper wall. Oh, wow. Okay, wait, it went up a little bit. Basically, there's 2 people here who are on the list. Sophie's one of them. Ren, who's we had the flashback for, is the other. Fuck! So the bride is sneaking into this place looking for these 2 people. She wants to take them out. She's kind of like eavesdropping on a conversation going down. Ren's like spidey senses goes off, and she just throws a knife through a paper wall, essentially. Barely misses the bride. So then the bride has to get up against the ceiling. And it's this she's just like, the classic, somebody comes out to look for her. She's up in the ceiling, hanging herself up there for a second. And she's just like hiding for a second. Then she goes to the bathroom, and that's where Sophie is. So she drags Sophie out of the bathroom, severing her arm. And then she gets a lot of henchmen coming at her. So as henchmen come, she deals with them easily. And then we have Go-Go is the fight that's next, right?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, Go-Go we get a little introduction to where we get kind of a history of her like being really cutthroat. So she knows she's scary. She's like kid. She's terrifying. She's got a ball and chain, and she's just fighting like crazy. And it's this epic ball and chain fight where we're losing swords. Honestly, one of the best fights in the movie was the Go-Go fight.
Absolutely.
It was sick. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And then that's where you get all the henchmen coming in as well, where we get hundreds, and it's just a completely insane scene. It's completely insane.
Wild.
Kung fu excess all over the place, blood spraying out every which way, limbs being chopped off, jumping up and down this crazy looking set, just cuts every 5 seconds, have it like trying to really highlight the super fast movement. Just the craziest choreography you've ever seen. It's just a nutty fight, man. I can't do it justice. You have to go watch it for yourself. It's just excessive, and it's truly the choreography is what's got me, because it's just so well done. You there's never a moment where you're watching that fight and you're just like, oh, I can see that's choreographed. It all looks so real. And there's also this moment within it where they go to the silhouettes. They go in a certain room and they just fight with a blue background and silhouettes for a while. I love that because what they were able to do is just use the stunt double and have her facing whatever way she wants. So now we can sit here and have this one shot, longest shot possible, because she can move however she wants. But because it's a stunt double, we have to go silhouette. We can do anything we want with her. It's like so...
It's so cool. And what you just said, like, it was so well, like, choreographed that it never, like, looked too much. Like, it was like, oh, that's clear, like, oh...
Yep.
It was also the other side, like, it never looked, like, too messy, where it's like, I kind of don't know where to look at, like, it looks kind of chaotic, and, like, it was just done so perfectly. So it's interesting that you said that when I was thinking the complete other side of it, but I agree with the other one as well.
Cool. That's true. I have a little gem here where, during filming, Go-Go accidentally hit Tarantino on the head with her ball and chain.
Amazing. Fabulous.
So in this fight, we got to see for this long cut that's fully restored, showing all the gore. So I don't know which gore was not present in the initial, but we saw all of it, and it was excessive for sure, but nothing that was like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Nothing as bad as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like still.
Yeah, it's just like limbs being chopped off.
Yeah, a lot of limbs.
Yeah. Blood.
There's also 2 Wilhelm screams in here. Did you hear them?
No.
I only heard one. And there's also Tarantino cameo where when there's the shot of all the dead 88s, he's one of the masked crazy 88s laying on the ground.
Oh.
Pretty cool, right?
Crazy. Would you do that, like, when you make movies? Like, would you put yourself
Everywhere.
like into
Every single
okay.
one. I'd be some random
Yeah.
dude. I'd probably have speaking lines for a little while before people know who I am, to where it could still feel natural, you know?
Oh, sure, yeah.
But, I don't know, I totally would, yeah.
I feel that.
I will.
I would too.
Then we get the finale, finally. If that wasn't a finale for you.
Right.
We get the fight with Oren out in the snow. And, oh my gosh. Beautiful. Cinematography-wise, just the overall, like, feeling, the vibe of that area where they're fighting, that set, snow on the ground with this, you know, like the sliding, like Asian architecture, you know, with the doors and stuff like that. Just these beautiful little plants and like buckets of water flipping up and down. And it's just like, it's so pretty. Like, I want to go there and like just hang out.
Yeah.
Like, for a while, you know?
No, I feel that.
And there's also this shot right when the bride walks out that I thought was the best shot of the movie. I don't know what it was about. It's basically the bride is on the right side of the screen and it's snowing and there's blood on her chest and her face and everything. And the whole left side of the screen is kind of open so you can see where the house that she just came from. You can see the snow on the ground, the whole set. And it's just so beautiful. I couldn't get over it. I was just looking there. I'm like almost crying over this one shot on the big screen. Like, oh my God, it's gorgeous. There's a line that Oren says in there. You may not last 5 minutes. Guess how long the duel lasts?
4 minutes.
4 minutes and 59 seconds to the fatal blow.
Of course.
Yep.
I should have guessed.
There's also a look exchange by these two. Right after Oren cut the bride got up, and the bride cut Oren. And they share this look after that, rather than just jumping right into the fight. That almost looks like this look of respect between each other. Did you catch that? This moment of just, they have both their faces, the sides of their faces, and they show them back to back. And it's just like this moment of respect back and forth. And what I got from that moment now was so much more, because we're aligned with the bride, obviously.
Yeah.
This whole movie. In that moment, I'm so much more aligned with her in having respect for Oren, because I know who Oren is.
Absolutely.
You know, now I've actually been in Oren's shoes, so I can look across and be, oh, I do have respect for this girl. I'm truly in the bride's shoes. Versus before, it was just like, oh, the bride has respect for this girl.
Yeah.
know? So like that was a big difference there for me.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
The fight goes on, beautifully choreographed. It's just so pretty. Everything, the snow, it's majestic.
Yes.
Like, truly. The bride slices off the top of Oren's head, and Oren acknowledges the Hanzo sword. The bride crosses her name from the list. Sophie, who's also on the list, she decides to roll to a hospital entrance. Why? 2 things, technically. Right?
Right.
I don't remember what the 2 things were. The main thing was just to like, go tell Bill that I'm coming for him or whatever.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting because Sophie's on the list. So she was just like, yeah, we're not going to cross off that name. It's whatever. She has to live a life as an amputee. It's good enough.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, all right, there's something here. Why?
Well, it was like, go tell Bill, like, now you're the warning for the other people, because you're all, like,
yeah,
you now have limbs cut off of you, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's, yeah, I mean, that's pretty, in that very last conversation between Sophie and Bill, Sophie does mention to Bill, is she aware that her daughter is still alive? And that's about it. So right at that halfway point is where we get that reveal. And I think that's just in this version, not in the original. Pretty interesting. So they normally wait with the daughter. I think. I actually shouldn't speak. I'm not 100%
I have no
sure.
idea.
I'm not 100% sure. But that is, and they all live happily ever after before intermission ends. So then we move into intermission. Real fast. We normally don't have this segment, so during it, I'm going to use this to ask, what do you think the body count was in this movie? How many people died on-screen deaths?
300.
95. You went a little high.
I went way higher.
Well, you have to remember the crazy 88s. That's 88 kills right there. So like that, all those people come in. It technically wasn't. It was like 90 something, I think. But that's how you try to do the math normally. But 95.
Oh, you're so right. I was thinking it was so many more people than that.
Because it does feel like a ton more. Yeah, I would agree.
I guess like the room that they're in is so much smaller than I think, because it's like the floor is covered in like everyone. Like it reminds me of, this is so stupid. You know, Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah.
When he sings that song and they all pass out.
Fall down, yeah.
And then you just see like a field of all these passed out
So,
people.
and everybody.
Yes.
That's hilarious. What a shout. All right, so 95. Remember that. Body
95.
Count, first part.
Sorry,
95.
I went way too high. I was thinking 100, but I was like, no, it has to be more than that.
I don't blame you. I probably would have went somewhere around there too if I didn't see it. Probably like 250. But and then intermission. All we really had with intermission was
why didn't you say 50?
Huh?
You said 250.
Did I really? It's a cool way to say that. During intermission, it was dead silent. At first, it was
oh my god,
My Baby Shot Me Down or whatever. Shot Me Down, whatever that song is called. Bang Bang, that's what it's called.
Okay, no, let me tell this, because Gio goes to fill up his drink. 2 people have left the theater, and the music is playing. Then the other 2 people leave, and then the music just stops completely. And it's just the intermission. It's completely silent, and I'm sitting in there by myself in complete silence, and then Gio comes back. And we leave, and then we come back, and everyone else is like in there, and we're all just sitting in silence, and it's so awkward.
It was pretty awkward. We started playing a game though, so it made it not awkward for us.
Yeah, we we tried to see how many words we could make out of the word intermission. I got 13.
I got 12.
Yeah, so I won.
And you didn't even get remission, did you?
No.
So there are other ones in there still. There's a lot of words you can make with
there were other ones right at the end. I was getting so many.
Literally, as it was fading out, you beat me with one.
Yes.
Which you were probably lying about. What was it?
Note.
Note. Oh, well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intermission. Are we good to go into the second part then?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay. Boom, boom, bang. Opening credits. We see the bride's bloodied face again and hear her say, "Bill, it's your baby." In the first scene, she drives an open car and says there's only one left to kill, confirming she believes Ella's gone. Confirming she believes Ella's gone, she is on her way to kill Bill.
There we go, yeah.
I said it. I said kill Bill.
They're no good.
In this scene, she's driving the car, right? Do you know about this car scene?
No,
2018, Uma Thurman posted footage of a 2002 car accident during filming. There was this big, more reasons to hate Tarantino. She requested a stunt performer to drive this car. But since it was not considered a stunt and the coordinator was not on set, Quentin Tarantino persuaded her to drive. The car unexpectedly hit a tree, causing concussion and knee injuries. Years later, Tarantino gave her the footage after Weinstein had refused to release it.
What the fuck?
So cool of Tarantino to at least get that footage out there and let the story be known.
Dude, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, they definitely should have waited for the stunt coordinator and the stunt person to be there for that.
I hate when they do that and like put the actors in like so much danger.
Yep.
When it's like you wouldn't have the movie without that. Like they're the ones doing all the work on screen so people can see it. Without them, you just have a script.
Well, that's where it's a hard balance. Definitely, you know, because there's some actors like to do more, some actors don't, you know, and some movies require actors to do more, other movies don't. I like a director that it's the Nolan thing, where basically his whole thing is, I'm not going to make you do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So if something feels unsafe, like there's this story of Cillian Murphy, on the set of Dunkirk, where there was like, his boat sinking or something, he's taking on waves, and he has to stand up in the boat. And he was like feeling unsafe about it or something. And Nolan was basically just, or not even him. They hadn't done the stunt yet. And the stunt coordinator was the one feeling unsafe about it. And Nolan was like, I'll go do it real quick to make sure it works. So Christopher Nolan just gets in there. Dude, everything
That's what a good director should be like.
Can you picture Nolan though? 50-year-old Nolan or whatever, just getting
He's like, okay, let me
water.
get in.
Everything I hear about Nolan's crew just like makes me, it's like romanticized about filmmaking, stuff like that. the stuff like, you know, the IMAX camera detail with Hoyt van Hoytema and all, you know, how he hauls the IMAX camera on his shoulder to be able to get shots and everything. I just love his crew so much. Oh my god. Nolan.
So good.
Chapter 6, we get a nice little flashback. At the Two Pines Wedding Chapel in El Paso, Texas, a black and white flashback shows dress rehearsal. This is a reverend and his wife seat the groom's relatives on both sides since the bride has no family present. The bride steps outside and hears flute music. She finds Bill playing his bamboo flute right outside. She asks him to be nice. He says he does not know how, but he will try to be sweet.
Yep.
Inside the hall, she introduces Bill as her father, but rejects the idea that he should give her away. Bill stays at the back, and that's when we see this awesome shot just zooming out from the chapel where we see the heads of the 4 assassins dressed in black appear and enter. We hear them massacring everyone except for the bride and Bill. Then we go back to the present, and Bill visits his younger brother, Bud, Michael Madsen. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
At his trailer, warning him the bride will kill him unless Bill protects him. Bud, who's drinking, says maybe they deserve to die because she does deserve revenge, and that irritates Bill. And what also irritates Bill is Bud saying that he sold his priceless Hattori Hanzo sword for $250. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Then
we go to chapter 7, The Lonely Grave of Paula Schultz. The names of these chapters are just great. I tell you, oh my god. Bud works as a bouncer in a strip club. Arriving 20 minutes late, he finds no customers and talks briefly with the bartender, Jay, before being called into the office by his hot-tempered, coke-snorting boss, Larry Gomez, is that guy's name. They argue over Bud being late. Bud talks back, and Larry takes away his scheduled hours, telling him not to return until he hears from him. Bud cleans a broken toilet after that. And it's just kind of like, it's like, oh my god, I'm back to a Tarantino movie, how I'm feeling with the dialogue, where it's just the dialogue in this movie, especially like the start of this movie and everything just going back and forth, the amount of time they spend with Bud and his boss just bullshitting back and forth, but it feels so worth it and just like so well written.
Totally.
It was feeling like that classic Quentin Tarantino, you ever heard that one before?
Quentin
Tarantino dialogue.
Yeah. Agreed.
Returning to his trailer, he freezes outside, thinking that he noticed something. Inside, he looks out the window and we see the bride. She's hiding under the trailer. She goes to enter the trailer and Bud's sitting there with a shotgun. Shoots her in the chest with a loaded shotgun that's loaded with rock salt. Sedates her and then phones up El Driver to sell the bride's Hattori Hanzo sword for $1 million. El agrees to bring the money, insisting the bride must die painfully. Yeah, I was immediately, I forgot what happens with this, and I was just like, dude, if I am a member of the Deadly Viper Assassin Squad, and there's an ex-member who I know is a drinker and like works at a strip club now, and he's like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for $1 million, I'd show up with my sword and take it every time.
Right.
There's no way I'm paying $1 million.
Of course.
We'll see later. No way Elle was paying $1 million either.
Right.
Hidden gem here, the club owner, he says, why you wearing that stupid hat around, you know, and tells him to take it off. Basically, this was a real-life argument that got put into the script from Tarantino. Michael Madsen wanted to wear that hat. He said it fit the character better. Tarantino thought the hat was stupid. So they did a rewrite, had it written into the script of his boss telling him the hat is stupid, that he has to take it off. So then Michael Madsen had to follow.
Oh, that's so funny.
So good. Then we have the cruel tutelage of Pai Mei, chapter 8. We get a nice little flashback as... Wait. Did we not... Oh yeah, I missed. Sorry. Bud and his accomplice, who's just this random dude, dig a grave at a local cemetery. This is Paula Schultz's grave. The bride is given a choice. Flashlight if she does not resist, or mace in darkness if she resists. She chooses the flashlight, placed in a coffin, nailed shut, lowered into the ground, and recalls her training under Pai Mei. This is my worst fear.
Mine too.
Like, this is my worst fear.
Being buried alive.
Like, I'm not insanely claustrophobic, but the thought of not being able to move my limbs like drives me insane.
Yes.
Like, I get like really stressed out thinking about it. Oh my gosh, having to watch this stuff go down, especially when she gets put her down and the dirt is hitting on top of her coffin as it's getting filled up. Oh my god.
That's terrible. Being buried alive literally is my worst fear, and I'm not claustrophobic like whatsoever. But no way. Have you seen like fucking Mr. Beast
Yeah.
now does videos of like burying my friends alive for $1 million. Insane.
Nuts. I would never
Kill
be doing
me.
that. You would
No.
not catch me doing that stuff.
No. That is actually
Terrifying.
awful. It's so scary.
Now we have chapter 8. The
Yeah.
cruel tutelage of Pai Mei. We get this flashback. This whole chapter is a flashback. It's Bill and the bride sit by a campfire in China. I really like the scene. Bill calls her kiddo, plays his flute, and talks about his kung fu teacher Pai Mei and the 5-point palm exploding heart technique, which is a technique that involves 5 blows on pressure points to make the victim's heart explode after taking 5 steps. Pai Mei did not teach it to everyone. Bill warns the bride to obey Pai Mei, who despises Caucasians, Americans, and women. He climbs the steps. She climbs the steps, is humiliated in combat, and trains for weeks, carrying buckets of water and breaking planks and doing all this stuff, eating rice with her broken hand and having to do it with chopsticks.
Yeah.
Really visceral scene as
I
well.
must say, her punching that wood was I feel like I could feel it in my hand watching it so many times. Rough.
It was brutal. Yeah, and Uma, I liked seeing this version of the bride. Thank God I didn't say it again. I like seeing this version of the bride because it's her before she has become this person we saw today, and it's also before she's had this whole revenge arc. So she's really like on her come up.
Yeah.
You know, and so she had a lot of life in her, and then had a lot of it beaten out of her to be this great warrior. And she recalls all these moments back inside the coffin. She removes her boots and belt and frees her hands with a straight razor, hits the coffin lid with her fists with this technique, because during the training, Pai Mei's, you need to be able to hit somebody from 3 inches away. So you'd start your hand, you know, just like your fingers pointing out, and then you have to put your fingers up against the wood and be able to punch through the wood just from there.
Yeah.
And so she now needs that. So she does it with the coffin, and she crawls out covered in dirt. Do you like this moment? This is where it goes too absurd for me. This is everything else I can put up with. Even the Pai Mei stuff, like he's a whimsical dude, so him hopping up on the sword and everything, all the crazy stuff he does, is fine.
Sure.
But this was like crawling out of that dirt was too much for me. I was like, dude, no way. What are we talking?
Yeah, because here's the thing: when we're kind of seeing these shots of the dirt down to the coffin, and it's just like there is so much space in between the dirt where it's that is not possible due to gravity.
Exactly.
Like if she were to punch out of that thing, all of the dirt would just fall on her and cover her, and she would be stuck.
Yep.
That did kind of get me.
It hurts me every time watching it. The absurdity everywhere else in these movies are present in the fighting. It's present in the kung fu.
Yeah.
That's where it is, because it's an homage to those old absurd kung fu movies.
Mm-hmm.
So putting it randomly when she's breaking out of the grave, I didn't like, because you don't find that anywhere else. She doesn't like maybe like the truth serum at the end is another kind of example of that.
Sure.
Of just like absurdity, but that was just too much for me. I've always hated that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Not gonna lie to you. Before we move past Pai Mei too, I forgot. That whole sequence has been kind of the focus of some news articles and just groups of people talking about the stereotypes in this movie going past homages into disrespectful territories. And it's a lot of it's talking about this specific role of Pai Mei and all the things that he does. You know,
a lot of things and the themes in this movie, but I think specifically, that character is one of the
that's got to
be things people talk about most.
That's got to be a hard line to walk when you're trying to do a homage, especially as a Caucasian. Tarantino is. That's a tough thing to do. We don't know enough about it to know whether it, is something that's objectively disrespectful. Personally, watching the movie, it's not something that stands out to me like crazy. It just feels like a more whimsical moment that happens in the middle of this, and it makes sense because it's connected to Kung Fu, which we've seen being, a little over the top this whole time already. So I didn't notice it, but I can see where some people's problems would be.
Yeah, and if you if anyone listening has watched Gio's video about like the women lead character.
How to build a female lead?
Yeah, how to build a female lead. I talked a bit about that in this, of just the concept of you can write and make roles for people and share experiences that you have not necessarily experienced, but you need to do that by learning the actual experiences of those people. I said that in a terrible way. I say it much better in the video if you go watch that. My thoughts are much more together. So I think it really, really comes down to that. But obviously, as two white people sitting here, we're in no position to say or be the police or the moral high ground of if it is offensive or stereotypical or not. But I think it's important we acknowledge issues that the people from the Asian community have had with this movie and the stereotypes. Yeah. Specifically with that character.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I it's definitely not something that I think about while watching the movie, but I do think it's something that's important to talk about when you're discussing it.
Absolutely.
Chapter 9 now. L and I. Maybe the worst name so far. I was just complimenting these. The bride walks across the desert. She gets out of the grave. It's actually the best moment of comedy, I think, in the entire saga, where she's covered in dirt and goes and sits down in a little diner, and it's just like dead silent in the diner, and she just like asks the guy, "Can I have a glass of water?" And then just cuts away. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So then the bride walks across the desert and mountains, and they do, that like really unfocused desert shot where she's like way far away, and then she gets closer and closer as it fades. So she walks across the desert mountains to reach Bud's trailer as Elle arrives with a red suitcase. Now, Bud opens the suitcase, gloating, very excited about getting his money, and there comes the Black Mamba, but not our Black Mamba. This is an actual Black Mamba.
Yep.
Because that jumps out of the suitcase and bites Bud right on the face, and Elle reveals Beatrix's real name. Finally.
Yep.
Beatrix Kiddo. We finally hear. You thought Kiddo was just a term of endearment. It's actually her last name, Beatrix Kiddo. Let's go.
Oh
I can say it. Finally. We're good. What?
Keep going.
What?
Never mind. I just realized that. I'm so fucking stupid.
Oh, you just...
Yep. Well, I kind of forgot that's what he calls her.
Well, it's the dots that you have to connect.
Yeah. No, just keep going.
Yeah, they also reveal the location of Paul Schultz's grave. This is where we get the bride attacking Elle. Bud just kind of dies out on the floor. The bride goes at Elle, and it's this great, like, close quarters, intimate sword fight, and, like, just fist fight for a lot of it, too. And apparently Daryl Hannah improvised the eye removal scene.
Oh.
To make Tarantino laugh, injuring herself in the process. So I wonder if she told Uma to grab my eye out, and then they actually went back and did that. I don't know. I have that in here.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it could be something similar, like with how in like Django he broke the glass, but then actually like later like used the blood on her face, like
that's
type
probably
thing.
Yeah. We also have Uma Thurman and Daryl Hannah hated each other. I don't know if they've ever spoke on it. I don't know why, but they were instructed staff to keep them separate during press tours and screenings. They actually hated each other. That was a lot of hate during that fight going on.
That must be rough to like actually not like the person you're doing like a very close like obviously they have stunt doubles and all of that, but like being in such close quarters and doing such a fight like that, it must be rough.
Dude, 100%.
With someone you don't like.
I mean, yeah. Those days of shooting probably sucked.
Yeah.
There's this line that was so badass that I'm trying to remember. It's like right before they fight, it's Beatrix's last line. And it is just such cold delivery and just gets you so hyped up.
Okay, I can see if I can find it.
Could you? Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
During that fight, it's an epic line. The $100 bills look real on top. We can't there's no information if they're prop money or not, but you can see $1 bills underneath.
I did notice that.
Really?
Yep.
Nice. There's also a hidden gem. Robert Rodriguez scored this scene for $1. You hear that, Robert? He scored this scene for $1. It was a deal because Tarantino promised to direct a segment in Sin City for $1 in return. Have you seen Sin City?
Yes.
Great fucking movie, man.
Amazing.
Such a cool movie. Beatrix finds another katana. Luckily, during this fight, she's able to... Yeah, so Bud didn't give away his katana, and she plucks out Elle's eye and all this, and leaves Elle. When Elle dies, too, she's kicking around and just, like, kind of... I don't even know if she's dead, but she's just kicking and screaming and, like, just, like, flailing around the place. It's really akin to her kind of crowning moments in... That's the word I'll use for people who haven't seen it. In Blade Runner. It's the same thing where her arms and legs are just flailing all around. Then we have the last chapter, Face to Face. In Mexico, the bride visits Esteban Vijallo, who tells her where Bill is. Just this weird scene where she's just off in... You couldn't find that quote.
No.
Dang it.
Sorry.
What a shame. There's some really cool thing. I don't know. Come at me. Or something way cooler than that. This whole scene with Esteban just felt weird. Like, it was just added on extra. Because she just, like, goes to Mexico and meets up with, like, one of Bill's old associates randomly and just, like, flirts with him a little bit to be able to get some info on Bill.
Yeah. But that is another time we do see that kind of fake sort of personality.
True, we do see the fake personality. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's a good one. Good shot. Yeah, so he tells her where Bill is, and she goes to find him. She finds Bill, but she also finds BB. Her kid is alive. They play shoot with toy guns, and she spends time with her daughter before speaking to Bill. Then we get a flashback. Basically, it's just, this is the whole third act of this movie. It's this whole conversation going down with Beatrix and Bill, and it's very emotional, but not quite as angry as you'd expect, because Beatrix is very conflicting emotions because her daughter's alive, and she's having these mom moments laying with her daughter and having these conversations that she's never had, but also having, you know, it's the end of this revenge plot. So how is this gonna, like, play out here?
Right.
There's
like,
very few moments of, like, fighting.
Yeah, it's very strange because we know the direction this movie is going. Like, we know her end goal, but it's just like we're seeing all these, like, really sweet, like, moments with her daughter, and
Right.
it's very strange.
But in a good way.
In a very good way. Yes, that's what I mean.
Our expectations and Beatrix's expectations got shattered.
Yes,
pretty much.
It is very
and now we're in a whole new
offbeat
place
from what we felt from the rest of the movie.
100%.
Yep.
And also, we get the flashback of the bride on assignment in Japan. She's pretty much, when she found out she was pregnant, it completely changed everything. She stopped being an assassin. She didn't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we get this huge conversation about this life she was going to get to live, working in a record store with her husband that Bill killed and all this stuff. And although she knew that she was never going to get to truly be that person, she could play pretend and maybe build that life for her daughter, you know? And we go back to the present. There's this truth serum that's forcing her to admit that she enjoyed killing her targets, I guess. I don't remember that exactly. But Bill references a moonlight beach fight.
Yeah,
almost mocking.
Wait, you don't remember that?
Where she enjoyed killing her targets?
Yeah.
You like? Yeah, I don't remember that for some reason. Weird. The truth serum is just a weird thing. Also, I don't like it. Where it's like, oh, what is this? Bill's a mustache twirling villain now? My truth serum.
Yeah, it's just like trying to prove that, like, she is, like, a real, like, assassin, like, at heart.
Yeah,
and that is her, like, probably trying to justify her killing Bill in the end instead of being like, no, for my daughter, I'm not gonna, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
That story could have been.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not really her moment of acceptance of herself. Because she knows she's a bad person. You know, she uses the person that she was to get out of the coffin and stuff like that. And, like that's kind of one of her moments of, like, looking back and being like, this is, you know, when I became this person, this is, like, the fuel that I need to now continue on this revenge arc.
Sure, yeah, but I feel like it was more explaining it to the audience, because, like, after we have that moment with her, like, being so nice with her daughter, like, it would be strange to be like, okay, let's go. Yeah. Now I'm fucking killing you.
Well, and it's almost like Bill is mocking the audience with, hey, there's a moonlight beach out there. It'd be perfect for a finale. You know? He literally says those words. Or perfect for the climax or something. But like none of that happens. They just sit outside and keep talking, and it's like really, it's this moment of Beatrix finally, I think, accepting that her future doesn't end with killing Bill.
Right.
Because initially, like, the movie ends, her future, like, that's it for Beatrix. That's all we really need to work. She needs to kill Bill. That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But once she sees her kid, it all just shifts, where all of a sudden, she now needs to be alive. She now needs to provide a life. She now needs to think about, how can Bill die with this kid here? You know, what are all these different things? So it's really this second half of herself that she had from before coming back to the front.
Mm-hmm.
This mother, this person who wants to protect, this person who wants to build a good life for herself, coming back and meeting these two sides at the exact same time as this conversation goes down. And Bill is just sitting there, you're hanging on every word because he's been built up for 2 movies, and you're just like, he's a terrifying dude to witness across from. So as she's going through this like mental crisis, Bill is there saying the worst possible things at all times to try and get her, pretty much try and get her to break. Because if she falls back into that person that she was and slaughters Bill or tries to do some crazy stuff like that, it might not end up the same for her. You know, Bill might have been ready for that, or her kid might have seen that and looked at her in a different light, you know?
Yeah.
She's able to stay strong through all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, what was your reading on that scene?
I don't know. I think it's, I 100% agree with everything you said. And I think it's so important when we have characters where their main plot points are revenge, to give them something else after.
Yes.
So like give them something else to live for, or they die. You know what I mean? Like I think that's such an important thing, and something that misses with a lot of characters that just have revenge arcs. Like as much as, I don't know, like, you know, I think I've talked about it on this podcast before, that I don't love characters that their only plot point is just revenge.
Yep.
But obviously that doesn't apply for this movie. She has a lot more going on. That doesn't apply for my favorite character, of course, Inigo Montoya. That cut that out of there. But I think the main thing that is missing in those characters with revenge arcs that I don't like is what's happening after. Like that is just the end of their story, and then they're just living their, like, how do you, it's this thing of like, how do you transition out of like spending your entire life just like rooted to kill out of that. And they did such a beautiful job in this movie of like showing kind of like her mental state throughout it, so you can see exactly how she would get to that point.
100%.
So
that's what's happening. That transition is happening at the end. She has to come back to that person again, which is so crazy.
Right, and it's easy for us to see because we saw that before. It's
It's so much easier to see when it's all in tandem too, because you actually understand the growth. You see the person that she was just at the beginning of this movie, versus having to remember the person you think she was from whenever you watch part 1. You know, it's so different.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
So yeah, the little brief skirmish at a table, Beatrix pulls out the 5-point palm exploding heart technique, and Bill dies after 5 steps. We then, what do you think about the 5-point palm thing? I think it needed one more mention. Like a mention in part 1, because it didn't feel built up enough. It's still, I remember this feeling like this in the second movie only, and it felt like this the same way now, where it was like, oh, well, they threw this in here just so it could be this final moment.
Here's the thing, is I'm on the other side where I feel like if they mentioned it another time, I could have picked up on it was coming, especially in the full form version. Like if they mentioned it once and we watched volume 1, and then later I watched, like a year later, I watched volume 2, then maybe I wouldn't have picked up on it. But it's full form, having multiple mentions of it, I'd be like, oh, well, that's how she's gonna kill Bill in the end. Like I feel like I might have picked up on that the first time I watched it way more fast. It's hard for me to speak on it because I don't know if we mentioned this, but this wasn't our first time seeing this movie.
Wasn't.
But it was our first time seeing it in its entirety, with the special release. So yeah, that's my thought on it.
I don't know. I like, that's my, I will love a repeating line coming back, you know, or like a just like those little callbacks. I love a callback like that.
Right.
At the end of the movie. I felt like this one felt like it was a callback to be a callback, more so than like they found the way that they wanted to kill Bill, because initially the Moonlight fight actually was planned. They did. I did have that in here somewhere. That actually was planned. They were gonna do the Moonlight
Oh,
fight.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's
Do you think that could be previous information that's influencing your thought? Because for me, or maybe it absolutely could be just how you feel, but I'm on the opposite side. It didn't feel like a callback just for a callback. I was like, oh, there it is, and they said that before, and I almost forgot. Like,
really
I completely I got the callback, I think. But that again, I'm speaking from the first time I watched this movie,
yeah.
and not the time that I just watched it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel
And I was like 14 when I watched this movie, to be
True.
clear.
I don't know the key to making those payoffs feel natural. Like what the balance is there. I think that you need to make it feel like it needs to be used for something else so that it's not just there for the finale. Like if there was somebody else using the 5-point palm exploding technique or some legend of somebody using it or
Some type of flashback
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
like maybe in the whole Yakuza clan thing, yeah,
Right.
they have somebody in there who knows it, and it's one of Paime's, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have worked.
Or even like the reason that Daryl Hannah kills Paime is because I think we mentioned that, right? I don't know if we mentioned that, but we do find out that we might find out during this conversation. Daryl Hannah's character, Elle Driver, she went and killed Paime because she was mad at him.
Yep.
And wouldn't that have been interesting if the reason she killed him is because he wouldn't teach her the 5-point exploding palm technique instead? Like that little thing. I just need a little more.
Well, it's like that line of like, still, you said it, I don't know either, of like how that callback works, but it's, you do too many and you know it's coming, and you don't do
really
enough and you forget about it.
Yeah.
It's, yep.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we get one last scene, which is Beatrix on the ground in the bathroom crying, and then eventually crying of happiness because of where her life is. And she walks out and hugs her kid as they're watching cartoons.
Yeah.
And they all live happily ever after. They really do this time.
Yay.
So that's why I ask you. Kill count in this movie.
Okay.
What do you think? Kill count.
Kill count in this movie.
Or Kill Bill Volume 2.
It's hard for me to like separate them now after watching it as a whole. I don't know. Is it around this at like 150?
3.
3?
That's the crazy thing. You only see 3 killed, but on screen. Bill, Bud, and Pai Mei. That's the only 3. Everybody else.
Oh my God, yeah, there's not any big, like, all the big fight scenes, I guess, are gone.
Isn't that crazy? You go from 98 to 3.
That's so crazy. I'm so far off on both of them.
Well, that one's a trick question, all of us.
Like, off by 100.
That's how different those
whatever.
2 movies are, though. But yeah, that was my last little thing.
That's crazy. I was just thinking, I'm like, so many people are dying, but damn.
It is pretty nuts.
That is crazy. All right, we will move to our favorite scenes.
Favorite scenes? Okay. Oof. For my favorite scene, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take. Oh. Both of the scenes I have in my head, I want to take them because it's the extended cut. Okay. I'm gonna go honorable mention for the anime scene.
Okay.
Honorable mention for the anime scene. Because I think extended is so much better for the reasons that we mentioned, and it's just so entertaining, a breath of freshness in the middle of a crazy movie. But I'm gonna go with my best scene being the conversation between Bill and Beatrix at the very end after the kid goes to sleep.
Yeah.
I think the tension there is amazing. Bill's been built up for so many hours. Getting to see him, these lengthy shots when you haven't got to spend time with this guy is great. In the moment, see, like I said, the 2 halves of Beatrix meeting and seeing how those things get sorted out in her brain, the dialogue, the final moments, the fact that it fakes you out, kind of. Really, you can see it coming, I think, when you see it all at once. But it's just not a big kung fu battle at the end. It's not what it's going to be. And I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah. I would agree. I really thought you were going to take one, and I was gonna take that, but then I'm gonna take the one that I thought you were gonna take.
Oh.
That I also really like. It's gonna be the fight with Beatrix and Oren. Is that it?
Oren and she.
Yeah. Honorable mention for the girl who had the ball and chain.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Go-Go.
Yeah.
Dude, I had Yay or Ling Ling in my head. Both sounds the exact same.
Go-Go.
Go-Go.
Yes. Yeah, honorable mention for that. Both of those that entire fighting scene was just like insane. We talked about it a lot, but especially that last fight, it was just like gorgeous to watch.
Yeah.
It's maybe one of the most like beautiful scenes I've watched. Like especially sword fighting scenes I've watched in my life.
It's mythic.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's a good one.
Least favorite scene?
Least favorite scene? Do you want me to take it or you?
What are we? Oh, can I take it?
Yeah, you got it.
I always have a problem coming up with one. The feet, the wiggle the toes. Oh, is that what now where you're
No, this is great. Yeah.
Oh, obviously. Why do we have such a long shot just zooming in on her feet? I know why, but why?
It's a shame. Mine's gonna be climbing out of the grave.
Oh, yeah. That's the other obvious one.
So absurd, and it's only been present in Kung Fu up until this point. Now it's just present in the real like mechanics of the world.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Don't like it.
Agreed. Favorite character?
Favorite character. Oh. What's crazy is like I would have never said this if it was just the two separate. Together, I'm gonna go with Bill as my favorite character.
Oh, okay.
The legend of Bill that is set up during the first movie, and then getting to see just him in the flesh in the second movie, it just feels like a really satisfying payoff. Versus, I remember when I just watched the second movie on its own, I was just like, oh, so now we see the Bill guy and that's it? What the hell? Versus just like going all the way through. It's like, no, you've been kept away from him for a long, long time. So now you get to see him and it's like, whoa, this is a big moment.
Yes.
And it's just the time that they get to spend with him, his dialogue in that final scene, the way that he is, like those little lines, even just going deeper into that, the first line he says to the bride about, what was that word? Machiavellian? That wasn't the word. Not sadistic, the other one. Like that.
Masochist?
Masochist. I think there's so many layers to Bill. And he's actually got a ton of like mental like not even mental but just like the way that his brain operates that you could dive to based off of what we have in these movies, and you could really dive deep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
learning what a masochist is really changes the view.
Totally. And well, that makes sense for who he is.
Right.
But it's just like, I also like his acceptance of everything at the end. You can almost, it's really hard to do because you understand why he's so hated, but you can also almost see what Beatrix saw in him a little bit,
Totally. For my favorite, I have to go with Beatrix, of course.
Beatrix,
but
kiddo.
Honorable mention for what's her name?
Oren?
Yes.
Oren is she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because of that whole added stuff, which we talked about a lot, so
Yes.
I feel like I'm fine leaving that one. But I'll go with Beatrix. It's just, she's like such an insanely like, she's such a character with just like an insane amount of depth. There's so many layers to her. There's so many different sides that we get to see depending on the situation. Obviously, we see so many different spots within her journey and how she changes. And then how she kind of, we talked about how she kind of returns to that. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been talking terribly today, but
you always say this, and you never are.
I'm tired. But yeah, whatever I was saying, how she kind of returned to how she was in the beginning to be able to return to her daughter and live a happy and fulfilling life where she's not killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, I really think her whole arc works so much better altogether.
Yeah.
Because in the first movie, she doesn't have a lot of emotion. Like, really. She only has a couple moments where she really shows emotion. Besides that, she's just badass, driven revenge lady. Like, that's her whole thing. Second movie, she turns into, like, very emotional all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She has all these different sides to her. And really, all those sides were present in the first movie. But they were only present, like, no. They weren't present. There's this, like, motherly side to her. Like, the good side of her, or whatever you could say. That's, we know existed before she was a revenge girl in her first movie. And that side comes back to her in the second. So when it's all together and you see it all meet in the middle, where she got put on this path and that path kind of gets stripped away from her and become back to this person she was, it's just easier to track when it's all together.
Yeah.
Versus separately, you just see her emotionless, super emotional, badass revenge lady, super dialogue driven, like, mother lady. And it's just really weird trying to feel those halves out. The whole is what makes you understand.
Yeah, well, it's the same sort of thing that we were talking about with Wicked last week, except, like, the opposite of that. Rather than a movie being taken, or a show being taken apart and putting into two parts, this was put together into one part, and it's more so, I feel like, the character arcs were affected in this movie rather than the story arcs.
Yeah.
Like, the story arcs can kind of work on their own, one movie and the other, but the character arc specifically for Beatrix really only works as a whole, like you were just saying.
I agree. And it's the same thing, my other biggest, this is the only thing I'll mention from my video otherwise, is the pacing. The 40 minutes at the start of Kill Bill Volume 2 drags like crazy if you are watching it separate. Because it's like you're expecting a Kung Fu movie and you get just like 40 minutes of Bud and Bill talking, and then the Pai Mei sequence, and just like all this stuff, like spending all that time with Bud for no reason. And it'd just be like, oh my god, like, can we get to it, please?
Right.
But once you realize that 40 minutes is the breather after the freaking climax of all climaxes at the House of Blues or whatever, or Blue Leaves, House of Blue Leaves. It's pretty similar.
At the House of Blues.
But that is at the House of Blue Leaves. It's
Yeah.
Agreed. It's just so much better as a whole. You can't take a knife between two projects and hope that they'll work the same, because they don't. They never will.
Agreed.
They never will.
All right, moving on to best quality.
Best quality. So for my quality, I'm gonna go with sound design.
Oh,
I was thinking about this during the movie. Every swipe of the sword or movement of the arm while fighting or jump, or there's a little sound effect. There's normally just this little like sound effect that happens. I think of Pai Mei flipping his beard to the side and this like going.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it's just like so many tiny little very specific sound effects that are being added in that is 100% taken from the history of Kung Fu movies that just like create a one-of-a-kind environment for this movie to take place in. That's mine.
Yeah, I'll just go with the cinematography overall. It was, I mean, there is nothing like it. It is just incredible. Like, some of the most beautiful shots I've ever seen in a movie, I've seen in that movie, and to see it in theaters especially, just, it makes it so much better, and it really enhances all of the amazing cinematography that was going on in this film. So
100%.
Yeah. All right, do you have any more gems?
Yeah,
okay.
I do have some more gems, just one that didn't quite fit into the story correctly. Oh, and thank God he's in here because we didn't even get to mention him. Beatrix and Bill both start with a B. The daughter's name BB, and the opening song references Bang Bang.
Oh.
And if you want to tie it all together, the first lines out of BB's mouth is Bang Bang.
Bang Bang.
Because it's when Beatrix walks up to her and she's got the fake gun.
Oh.
Yeah. The climax was originally on a moonlight beach. The climax was originally a moonlit beach fight. Weinstein cut it down, which Weinstein might have actually been a good call there. I like the I didn't like it before, though. That's so interesting. Like,
Yeah.
before, I felt like I needed that final sword fight. This time, I don't. Only because it's together. It's so crazy.
And that's so strange that, like, the guy who wanted to make it 2 movies also wanted the fight to be at the end.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know what I mean?
That is weird, right? Yeah.
Because it seems off to have in 2 movies. Like, it seemed like he would be more for the fight if it was 2 movies have, like, a big ending.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting. It's backwards.
That's what I meant. I don't know if you knew what I was saying.
No, I got what you're saying, yeah. Samuel L. Jackson was in this movie.
What?
You didn't notice it? I didn't notice it the first time I watched this movie. Honestly, you didn't notice it the first 2 times we watched the movie then. He's Rufus, the piano player, who asked if they want to hear a certain song.
Oh, no way.
And it's implied that Rufus may be Jules from Pulp Fiction. It's unconfirmed, but because Jules says he just wants to go... I don't know what he says in Pulp Fiction, but he just wants to, like, go see the world or whatever. Just be a drifter. That's what he says. He wants to go be a drifter.
That's terrible. I hope that's not, because he meets a terrible ending.
Yeah.
So I hope that's not accurate.
Tarantino wanted Volume 2 to be a Western, Volume 1 Kung Fu.
Kind
of makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't get crazy Western vibes, but a little bit.
No, if with, like, all the stuff in, like, the church, the chapel or whatever. Yeah.
Bud stuff. Bud would have kept his hat on. It would have been more of a Western. Tarantino. There was a test screening in Austin where the audience gave 5-minute standing ovation. So Weinstein decided to skip the response cards for that session. They just like, yeah, we don't need them. We'll be fine. The end credits say it's filmed in Panavision, but it's not. It's just trying to appear as that it's filmed in Super 35. And we also have, inspired by the Brad Ward Black in 1968 story of woman taking on revenge after 5 men. The only unprovoked violence is the off-screen Wedding Chapel massacre. All other killings are shown graphically. Many of the music cues were from Tarantino's personal soundtrack collection. And do you know the Hello Sally tradition?
No.
So Sally Menken was the lead editor for Tarantino's crew for a long time, since like maybe his first or second movie, something like that. And basically there's this tradition that they started where after a take would end, right when they would say cut, they would the actor would turn to the camera and say, "Hi Sally," or "Hello Sally," or something. So then Sally would see that in the editing room as she's going.
Aww.
Yeah, so they did that for this movie too. Very sadly, in I believe somewhere near 2010, somewhere around then, Sally Menken passed away. Very sad. But they still kept up the tradition during the Hateful Eight, where they all kept saying, "Hey Sally," and that's just so cool.
That's so sweet.
And that is it for Gio's Hidden Gems. All currencies are available.
Wow.
You're shocked.
How great. Gems. How great. I'm sorry. It sent me back up to the beginning of the document. Did it again. Wonderful.
So it's got you reviewing like Wicked Part 1 or something right now.
Critic Reviews.
Is it that time already?
Yeah.
Critic Reviews. We just have one. So I messed up here. I'm now realizing I have reviews for Part 1 and for Part 2, not for the whole thing, unfortunately. But the reason I did that, I think I had a reason for it. I don't remember what it was, but that's what we're going to do. So this is for Part 1.
Yeah, we talked about this previously.
This is for Part 1. Richard Roper from Ebert and Roper. This is the ultimate movie for Kung Fu drive-in geeks. Fresh score. 100%, man. If you're driving, this is a good drive-in movie. 100%. I don't know why, but it's a great drive-in movie. Bad, we have N. Gonzalez from Slant Magazine. Kill Bill Volume 1 is essentially a pop culture wanker's failed multimedia experiment. A Vegas junk heap of dorky gags and riffs, violent anime, and offensive slapstick. He hates it. He doesn't like the stylized stuff. Like, that's it. You don't like the over-the-top kung fu? Fine.
Yep.
Fair enough. Then we have for Part 2, Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times, an exuberant celebration of movie making. 4 out of 4. Celebration of movie making? I don't know. Celebration of dialogue writing? I would agree.
Yeah.
Bad? Mark Caro from the Chicago Tribune says, for those seeking the vibrant innovation of Tarantino's first movies or the sheer rush of Kill Bill Volume 1, Volume 2 feels like a dull blade. And initially, I would have 100% agreed with that.
Yeah.
100% agree with that. But that is it for our critics' reviews.
Yay. Well, now it is time for our ratings.
It is.
Take it away.
Take it away. Okay. So initially, I want to let you guys know on Letterboxd, I had both of these movies scored. I had Kill Bill Part 1 at 2.5 stars, Kill Bill Part 2 at 2 stars.
Jeez.
I didn't like these movies. I love Tarantino. The dialogue that I know Tarantino can write wasn't present for me in these movies, first time watching it, not even in Part 2. And the story was never present either. The dialogue at least wasn't present in Part 1. Story definitely wasn't present anywhere. I just didn't like it.
Sure.
I got around to watching it now all together, and I can't tell. I like it so much more. It's actually insane. These movies are built to be watched together, and it's so obvious once you actually watch it together. Like, that is a huge part of what makes these movies work, because the way the story plays out, it works. Thinking about the first movie, you really have the violence climax happen at the halfway point. And the second movie kind of just like devolves into a way more intimate, like relationship driven narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Separately, both those are unbalanced. You have one movie that's just insanely bloody and like action, and then one movie that's just not nearly enough blood and just too much like mushy stuff, essentially.
Sure.
When you place them together, it is money, dude. The bride's arc feels so much better. Bill feels like a much more hateable villain. The story chapters flow into each other so much easier. You understand Oren's character so much more. All these things. Really, the only problems I still have with it is like a few continuity stuff, but really is the absurdity. I hate the climbing through the grave stuff. I do think Pai Mei's stuff is a little too over the top. I think that you could have done exactly what you want to do with this movie and still have it grounded and realistic by taking just a few things out.
Sure.
There are scenes that I react to viscerally, like we talked about with the whole like rape stuff, and just like there will be very negative visual reactions like that, and then there will be very positive ones where I go and just a single shot of this movie that can almost bring me to tears, or one line of dialogue where I want to go run through a brick wall. It's a movie of emotions, and that emotion gets brought into, put on me much more when they're put together.
Yeah.
So for all those reasons, I'm going to put this movie now together, the whole bloody rating, I'm going to place at a 4.2.
Whoa.
A 4.2. That's where I'm going with it.
Wow.
So, like, literally, this movie is, like, double. By adding them together, it has gotten a full time better. Like, it's that much. It's genuinely, it is so much better together.
I know, you're lower than I thought.
You're low? I'm lower than you thought?
Yeah.
Well, it's not Tarantino's best. It's not Pulp Fiction, okay? It's not Django Unchained. It's not Inglourious Basterds.
Can I ask, like, about what are those rated for you then?
Those ones are like 4 or 5 pluses.
5 stars?
Yeah, 4 or 5 pluses at least.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, I would like Inglourious is probably 4.9, 5 star.
Sure.
Django is probably 4.7, 4.8. Pulp is a little bit 4.5. I don't like Pulp as much as everyone else.
Right.
But I just like this movie. Critically, it still doesn't like. You can poke holes into this movie, and we did a little bit today. Yeah. But more so, it's just like. This isn't one of those movies that I'm going to look back on and be like, oh my god, like this was just like prime cinema. This will be like, I had a great time with this.
Yeah.
Which is different. I think once we get into that 4-5 territory and above, that's prime cinema.
No,
this is not there.
I'm sorry. I didn't want you to feel like you have to defend your rating.
Oh, no,
that was just lower than I thought you were gonna go. Okay. For me, that's it for you? Okay, great.
That's it for me.
For me, I did really enjoy this movie. Like Gio said, I think I don't have my ratings from when I watched them the first time. I don't really remember. I remembered enjoying the movies, but I definitely like them a lot more as the full entirety, both of them together. It's very clear that, especially from talking through it, that is the way they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And just seeing it in theaters, like I said, I feel like I had the prime spot sitting in that theater. So I felt like I was very much connecting with the movie. There were a lot of things, obviously, that I talked about. A bit of the over sexualization. There are obviously a few more problematic elements to this movie and to most Quentin Tarantino movies, especially his earlier films. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought the cinematography was just incredible. Like I've said, like I saw some shots in this movie that are like some of the best shots I've ever seen, like in my life, and I think being in the theater really heightened that for me. Overall, yeah, there aren't a lot of problems I had with this movie other than you could say just the things that aged poorly, if you want to use those words, but like just kind of the problematic things. And the grave thing, her climbing out of the grave was a little over the top for me. I could get behind the truth serum a little bit, but the grave was a little too much for me, I must say. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it. So for those reasons, I am going to put it at a 4.3.
Oh, I had you at a 4.4.
I was between 4.4 and 4.3.
Dang.
I was thinking it was going 4.3 to 4.5. So that's, and then I kind of narrowed it down to 4.3
So we end up
to 4.4.
being really close on this. I think you hit on something big, which definitely watching this in theaters. There's something about watching re-releases that I think will always boost our scores a little bit more.
Yes.
Because it is like just this like heavenly experience
Absolutely.
of being transported back in time and
Yes.
actually being at that moment. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I that's a good shout there.
Yeah, and I think I could say we would both recommend you see this movie.
100% see it in theaters.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it all together and you can't see it in theaters, go watch it all together.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, find a way. This completely shifted my opinion on these movies.
Absolutely.
Like, I need to rethink how my Tarantino, tier list goes for movies now because of what this just did to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Incredible. So, our next movie, that we are watching...
Big one. Big sell time.
Is gonna be... I'm not gonna be able to sell this.
Sell it.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's 3 hours and 15 minutes?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus
this
Christ.
is movie number 3.
Yeah, it's Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver,
Sigourney
Weaver, written, directed by James Cameron, of course. It's Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Woohoo!
The third Avatar movie. I think this is going to be interesting, because I think me and Gio have had conversations about this, of Avatar was just so visually spectacular, and all of the new things they could do in that movie were just incredible. So I'm wondering, now, so many years later, are they going to be able to deliver with, like, the story and still make it that sort of spectacular feeling of a movie without all of, like, the visual effects and all of the amazing things they brought in the first time that now we are so used to seeing.
Yeah, we know it's going to be stylized, man. You got to bring the substance now.
Yes, yeah. I think at a certain point, once you get to the third movie, style can only do so much for you.
I'm so excited. I think we talked, this is my second most excited movie this year. Superman was number 1. So I am,
I'm not that excited, but I wasn't that excited for Superman, and that, like, might be, like, one of my... I won't give anything away, but that's, like, one of my favorite movies of this year.
Yeah.
So, what do I know?
I love Avatar 1, and I think it is an amazing movie, and I will die on that hill, and I will be dying on that hill in an upcoming YouTube video here soon, actually. But I'm just so excited for number 3. There's a lot of Avatar hate now all of a sudden. It's really weird. It's on social media, or my social media. I hate it.
As a child, I always found Avatar boring.
Not me.
Personally.
I freaking love it.
But as an adult, I like it, I think.
I think it's fucking awesome.
I just think, we know James Cameron has the ability to deliver us something great.
Oh, yeah.
So I just hope it can really hit it out of the park with the story.
Yep.
Like, I want to be into the characters, which I feel like I haven't really been super into.
We kind of got a lot introduced last movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, those relationships were hard to kind of invest in when
a lot was being the last movie, not as much as the first one. We'll see. That'll be a fun review.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, anything else to add?
I believe, as long as there's nothing else on my notes here, yeah, I'm all good.
All right, so with that, I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
So join us next week after opening weekend, because waiting to talk about movies is clearly not our thing.
I can't even see it anyways. I have to bend my neck very unnaturally. Being able to go around. You okay?
I just started coughing.
Oh.
And I almost choked, and you just... and then I was fine, but you were just, like, babbling on, so that it made me laugh.
So
I don't know how I did this. I wrote Quentin Tarantini.
You know, it's funny. I was searching up his name yesterday, and I did the same thing. Tarantini's like a famous artist or something too. He's like a guy. He's like a Renaissance dude. I'm pretty sure.
It's just like very Italian.
Yeah,
Tarantini.
I think that's the first time you've ever invested in a football conversation with me. That was great. It was really enjoyable. I won't be forgetting that anytime soon.
It's always so strange to me that you itch your nose with your palm in a circle. Like, I don't know anyone that itches their nose like
It's like a lucky rabbit thing if you itch your palm in a circle. You itch your nose with your palm.
It's like good luck or something.
Yeah, it's good luck. If you walk up to me randomly and just start itching my nose with your palm, you'll make $1 million in the next year.
You just put that on the wrong way.
What do you mean?
It's flip it. It's facing the inside of your shirt. The mic should be facing, yes, like that way. No.
I mean, this is a...
No, Gio, oh my gosh, how do you not understand? No. The same way, with the mic, the clip. Look. This is the clip, this is the mic. This way, on the shirt, down, mic out. There you go.
That's crazy. Wait, can I do a Forrest Gump? Of course I can do Jenny.
Wait, that's so good.
Whatever, everybody can do Jenny.
No, that's so good.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds like just like Tom Hanks. That's crazy.
I think you're gaslighting.
No, I'm not lying. Do it again.
I can do... I've always been able to do Jenny.
It got worse. Welcome back to a old chapel in El Paso. Fuck this, okay? I'm taking it again.